Check one, check two, check three. Hello, my name is Joe. Good morning. If you're having a good morning. It is currently Wednesday, the April 17th, and where we're at right now. So I just kind of wanted to jump on real quick and do a quick overview of the actual text of the zoning change that's going to be affecting the homeless shelter. Kind of get a sense for where in the township this would be, and how it would affect other communities. So first and foremost, this is a map of the township zoning as it currently stands. You can see there's a lot of this is pretty big, and it's on the township's website, so you can zoom in and kind of see where you are, etc. You can get a sense for where in the township certain zones are, and what might be affected. So we're going to look at one, where they're all going to be affected, and two, look at the amendment. I think this is just the focus of today. So first and foremost, the proposed homeless shelter is right here in this industrial overlay. So it would fall right where the Eagleville Hospital, the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, so a lot of stuff all in the same place, kind of a powder keg. It would affect these locally neighborhoods, but because of how small our township is, it actually affects every single person within a 10-mile radius of this location. But also, I wanted to bring to your attention, so in the text of the amendment, let me see if I can pull it up here. There we go. So, in the actual text, there's only 8 pages of this, so if you haven't read it, go to the township's website, pull this up, give it a really thorough read-through, get a sense for what actually is being changed, because at the heart of this is a zoning issue. This is not anything else. It just, once this zoning issue goes into place, RHD, this private special interest, can come in, build their homeless shelter, start collecting profit for the government. And if you've seen what's been posted, like I said, the CEO makes $350,000 a year. There's a million other people on that list that have tons of salaries that don't seem to be going towards homelessness, but seem to be going to line the pockets of very particular people. And where those people send that money in return is a whole nother issue, which we'll address another day. But for the text of this amendment, we wanted to look at very specific things on what this will be changing. So the big one is this will apply to institutional overlay. Let's see if I can't do Control F. Of course not. So all the different places that land under this institutional overlay district will be affected. Now, there are certain requirements that they're trying to put in there, whether it's a minimum lot size of 2 acres, or 2 to 5 the 2 acres, the street frontage, everything's in the actual text. You can read it here as to what it would mean. But we're not talking miles. We're not talking, football fields. We're talking feet, 15 feet, 25 feet, 30 feet. So the idea that this will not be used in the future, because once this goes in, it's done. It changes the township going forward. And after it's been changed, this can affect any other place in the township that has institutional overlay. So I wanted to bring that to attention because there are a few places that have institutional overlay. So we've got our first one, obviously, which is where the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, the Eagleville Hospital are located, where the proposed new trail, Supervisor Gary Knight wanted to put a trail going down Visitation Road. So this will lead directly, the homeless shelter will have a path if Gary wants it to, so they can walk up and down from Eagleville to Visitation, all the way up into the top, up into these neighborhoods up here. There's also some other ones. So there's one, it seems right here, the corner of Eagle Stream. This is the firehouse, which I thought was very interesting. Now, will this qualify? Another question altogether, but this would be affected in some capacity. And again, this is only the first step. Once a line has been crossed, what's to say they don't go back and amend it to be smaller and smaller and smaller going forward? The other one I wanted to point out, let's go, is we've got over here, off of Hodes and Level Road, we've got some institutional overlay that's in a residential area. However, there is one big one that needs to be brought to the attention of everyone, and I would like to show that to you now. If you go through Lower Providence and you scroll all the way down, to Egypt Road. Egypt Road Trooper. This here is the Shenandoah property. And it more than qualifies between all of these different things. In fact, it's so large that, let's say they wanted to build a new facility there, they wouldn't be talking about housing 60 to maybe doubling to 120 people. They'd be talking hundreds of people with different buildings right in the middle of Shenandoah. Again, will that happen? I can't say whether or not it'll happen. It's not up to me to decide. It's up to the people and the property owners. However, where there is money, there is an interest to build. And the simple fact of the matter is that there is an interest to build because the county is giving millions to private companies like RHD to try and solve this issue in their mind, when they had 5 years to figure it out for themselves. So, what does that mean for us? It means this is a big deal. So, even if you do not live in the current institutional overlay, there are spots all over the township that definitely could fall under this little problem of the zoning issue. So I highly recommend you give it yourself a look. You look through the text of the actual amendment, and then you show up and you voice your concerns. Whether it's on the 18th, you'll have to speak, because it's not on the agenda, you'll have to speak after the fact, so you don't have to come to the beginning part of the meeting. Or on May 2nd, the actual voting. You can call in via Zoom, you can get involved, and most importantly, sign the petition that's going around. Talk to your friends and neighbors. Make sure they're aware. Hey, I know visitation in Eagleville don't look far away, or, if you're not in the apartments or you're not in the townhouses, it may not seem to affect you until it starts to move elsewhere in the township. And again, we're going to go into studies later this week about how much it affects areas within 10 to 15 to 20 miles statistically, and we'll talk from there. But again, just trying to bring this to your attention, that there is money to be had, and there's a private group coming to our township to try and make that money by bullying the supervisors and bullying the residents of this township with compassion, when we are one of the most compassionate communities that I know. So until tomorrow, I will let you go. We will let's keep fighting the good fight. Have a good one, guys.